I've been a member of this club now for just on 5 years, and this is my first sergeant session. Now, contrary to what you may be expecting, this session is not going to revolve around the funeral industry, and I apologise in advance if that's a disappointment. This session is going to be a good old-fashioned fining session. Individual members and or their friends and dining companions, so be prepared, each and every one of you. And let's start with President Kerry. A fine of gigantic proportion, I think, Kerry. This is a retrospective blunder or two that you made a couple of weeks ago during the visit of the District Governor, Simon Manning. Not only did you call Peter Lawson Steve when you welcomed him back from overseas, but on thanking Simon for his presence and for his attendance here, you called him Steve too. So pay up, Kerry, and anyone else who gets names wrong. Now, is Peter Lawson here? Is Peter Lawson here?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Oh, is Steve here? I'm going to fine him anyway. At a B&I meeting last Friday, which some of us belong to, he did a questionable impersonation of a civil celebrant during the time allotted to him to showcase his business. Now, I'd ask him to repeat it, but A, he's not here, and B, it would take too long. The point is that as a civil celebrant myself, I found his performance slightly lacking in sincerity. And although it was up to his usual standard of enthusiasm, I'd encourage him not to give up his day job. So, seeing Peter's not here, I think any of you that know Peter should put something in the sunshine box. Now, Gray Hewson, I see you up the end of the room there. Gray and I are on the Arlock Trust Advisory Committee, and it's that time of year when we give our advice on the distribution of the available trust funds. Gray was to come to my house one evening last week and deliver or collect some documents from me. And despite the fact that I'm sure he has GPS and a cell phone and any other device that's required to find an address, he got lost. So I think, Gray, you need to pay up for not being able to find my house. And anyone that's sitting with him, I could have done that as well. Anyone else that's sitting with him, I think you should pay as well. Colleen Singleton. Oh yeah, there you are, Colleen. Now, Colleen, as we know, has just returned from 5 months in Europe. And I think you should pay big time for being one of those people who has left Europe when the rest of us would like to go there. So, Colleen, you need to pay, and so does anybody else who wishes they'd just come back from 5 months overseas. Tony Hassard. No, that's fine. You can sit down, Tony. It's all right. It's not too painful. But I was impressed with the tie and the check shirt you wore to the Melbourne Cup function last week. I think full marks for dressing up. So I don't think you should pay, but I think everybody else at your table should. And also all those men who didn't make the effort to dress up for the Melbourne Cup function when they were asked to, and I guess that includes me. Now, Michaela Draper. Is Michaela here today? Another absentee. Well, I'm going to fine her anyway. Oh no, actually she doesn't have to pay because she won the prize for being the best dressed woman at the Melbourne Cup function. So, fascinator and all, she did very well. So I think anybody that knows Michaela should pay as well. And finally, to those of you who won prizes in the sweepstakes of the Melbourne Cup, of which there were 3, I think you should put some of those ill-gotten gains into the sunshine box. And if you didn't win anything, well, I think you should put something in for feeling sorry for yourself. Thank you very much.